Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Friday out here, huh? It's Friday. It's already noon over here on the East Coast. I am a happy, happy fella. Oh my God, it has been the worst month of my life. It feels like it was a month. It might have been like 2 weeks of hell, but it feels like it was 2 months of hell.
Your
Oh,
mailman arrived?
the mailman arrived and I was able to get to the drugstore before they
Nice.
closed, got home, got really, really healthy with my medication, and then proceeded to do a 4-hour show until midnight last night. Yeah, so I'm dragging ass a little bit this morning, but that's all right because the medicine made me healthy again this morning, and I feel great.
See what I tell you before we parted ways yesterday, that yesterday was your day.
Yeah,
I knew it.
was. It
I knew
came
it'd
to
be good.
everything, and I have a friend, and a shout out. I don't know her name yet. We're working on that. We're working on a relationship. Uh,
Oh,
she doesn't know it, but she's very young,
okay.
adorable, and she's a sweetheart, and she really works with me, and she knows what she's talking about. Because I didn't talk to you. Usually, I would go to you, before I go, but
Yep.
I forgot. I was actually driving down there. My daughter was driving. And I was in the past, I was contemplating texting you and seeing if you could look really quick while I was on my way there to see what I should get.
I would have done that
Luckily,
for you.
oh, I know you would have. I know, but you don't always see your text right away. So I figured, it's
No,
not worth the wait. I don't want to,
depends on the time of day.
yeah, it's okay. But luckily, she was there. So a couple weeks ago, when we went to the Canna Fest, a young lady walks into me, not into me, but like we locked eyes, we looked up and or whatever, and we saw each other, and I was
Oh,
like,
did you
and,
see
and
fireworks?
no, nothing like
Okay.
that. But I recognized her, but I couldn't remember where hi Bailey, good morning, everybody over there. Thank you so much
Good
for
morning,
being
Kelly, Garrett. How are you? Facebook user, Bailey.
here.
How's everybody?
Yeah, that's probably Bailey again saying that it's her. Good morning. So much. So anyway, so we're walking around, and I'm with Curly Cal, and I just got done getting her off of my neck and sniffing me. And then, all of a sudden I look up and there's this girl, and I'm like, I know her. Why do I know her? And she looks at me and I look at her, and she's like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, good, good. How you? And, and I'm like, I have but I can't remember. Oh yeah, we'll talk about that, Curly Cal. Yeah. She now it all comes back to me, a couple weeks later when I see her at the dispensary yesterday. I walk in and she's like, hey, I haven't seen you since the Canna Fest. And I say, yeah, I had a whole issue with the call. And then boom, it comes to me. There's the girl, because Curly Cal said, who was that? And I was like, or my
I
wife,
don't
somebody
know.
said, I know her. I think she might have been somebody that sold stuff at the hippie shop back in the day, because I had a couple young, attractive girls that were like making jewelry and things like that. And they would come in and they would consign their stuff at my store. And she just reminded me of one of them. She's kind of a hippie girl, so I was like, I don't know. I can't remember where I know her from. Anyway, long story short, she's there. So she's at the dispensary yesterday, and she's wonderful. I wish I knew her name. Shout out to the wonderful girl at the dispensary. Uh,
Girl
uh,
number one.
they're all wonderful, though. I've always said that since my first day going there for like 6 years now. I say you're probably one of the most beautiful drug dealers I've ever had. I used to have all these shady looking guys with no teeth, and now I get to look at beautiful women handing me drugs. This is what the world has come to.
It's more
Anyway,
important that they know what they're doing than how they look. That's for sure.
well, it doesn't hurt that they are nice to look at as well.
Yeah.
But I'm a dirty old man, so anyway. So how was your night?
No, it's okay.
What'd you do?
Good
Ate
idea.
some good? Yeah, I got high. I got really high. She gave me some really good drugs. She said,
Oh, my goodness.
when I walked in, Dr. High, she goes, "I know that you want quality and you know what you're talking about, so I'm gonna take care of you." And I was like, "Thank you." And I was like, "I really appreciate you doing that," you know? And she was like, and she took her time. I said, "Take your time. It's a big order. Take your time. Let's get it all right." And I
See
think,
how the perception changes? You've
yeah,
only been in there a couple of times with real direction, and you told them what you wanted,
yep.
and now
And
they recognize the fact that
she
you know
recognizes,
what you're
yep,
doing,
right.
and their whole psychology has changed.
One thing I'm a little disappointed about is the flour that I got. It came in a jar, and maybe you can look it up if we have time today. But it doesn't have
Hey, Lori,
any ingredients on it. Like, it doesn't
what do
have
you mean?
anything. The container.
What's the law like in PA? Doesn't have to be labeled.
Bro, this is the container.
Nothing.
Okay. My personal information. Don't dox me. Oh, I
What's on
guess.
the bottom?
Oh, maybe there it is. There it is. I looked 100 times. I'm like, I cannot believe they don't have the ingredients. I never looked at the bottom.
There you go.
Can you read them?
Too blurry.
Too blurry. Too dark.
Too
Well,
blurry. Too dark.
well,
It's
what
the
I
mystery
want to
jar, folks.
say is whatever these ingredients are, woohoo! And this is not even the good stuff. She said the good stuff is in these two over here. And I'm like, she's like, this is all good, guy. You're gonna love it all. And then I looked and I checked the dates. 8/8. So I'm like, all right, it's not even a month in the container
Yeah,
yet.
that's good.
Yeah. And she was like, yeah. Why are you not staying, Lori?
Lori's got her medical card. She's off to tour the dispensaries.
Are you all right, Lori? Everything okay? Who's stoned? Why am I stoned? I'm very stoned, but yes, I
Huh?
just did. So I figured something else out. So I'm comparing myself to other people. Oh, you want to watch a movie? We have so much information today.
Oh,
Wow.
well, enjoy. Hopefully, it's not an adult film.
No, Lori has her grandson there, so she's
Mm,
gonna be watching like Cars or something.
Disney.
Yeah, I
Nice.
understand. Go chill with JJ. He needs some quality time with Mama.
Yeah.
It's one of the final
You
days
care
of
about that more than anything. You know what I mean? You can buy PlayStations or bikes or toys or
absolutely,
whatever, but they really love your
absolutely.
time.
Yep,
You know,
yep.
that's what matters.
Go play with JJ.
Yeah.
Tell him to be good, though. I want him to be a good boy. Alright. Anyway, yeah, JJ starts school on,
Oh,
Tuesday.
it
His
is.
first
It's the
time
1st of September.
kindergarten, yeah.
Where'd the
So,
summer go already?
I know, it's already over. The
Mm.
trees are gonna
The
start
chill
changing.
is in the air.
Oh,
It
dude,
feels different in the mornings.
it was like 52 this morning when I got up. I was like,
Yeah,
"Damn!"
I'm hoping I don't
Mississippi.
have to move in the snow.
Oh, don't say that. El Nino is
Oh,
coming, I heard.
I just hired my movers yesterday finally.
Oh, you found somebody?
Yeah, it wasn't easy, but I found someone.
I was gonna say, I got 2 trailers. The hardest part would be having to go get my license and pay the
Oh,
$75, but I
I
could
just
drive
rented
myself. I
I
got
just
some
rented a
good.
U-Haul truck. I got a U-Haul truck one way, cost me $500, which
Yeah.
is not bad at all.
Good
And I
morning, Christopher. Good morning,
got the
everybody.
movers for 7, so
Hey, Laurie, can you do me a favor, sweetie, before you go? Because you love me. Mwah. Can you just share it out to, a couple groups? Let them know that we're here and we're live. I know Curly Kell's already on that shit. And
morning, Chris.
everybody
How are
else,
you?
please like and subscribe and do all that other stuff. We're up to 95. We got 2 yesterday. Woo, woo. Shout out to our new followers. You're the bomb, Lori. I love you. Mwah. Go
Well,
play with JJ.
hopefully them little clips showing the doctor will show people that we're actually kind of serious, right? Like
Yeah.
that may help people actually say, hey, you know what? These guys must be doing something real if they got a doctor on there. So
Right. That's
maybe
what we
that'll
want
help,
people to know.
bring people over and have them spend some time with us and see what we're all about,
Absolutely. That's what
So
I'm
let's pop
saying.
on back to Kelly. Kelly says she found the power. Was that
Yes.
the power to stand up to oppression and evil and wicked in the world? Is that the power you found, Kelly?
Powder.
Oh, powder.
The
CBD.
nano emulsified powder at the dispensary near her.
Oh, so that you can just pour it into a bottle of water
Says put it in water. Yeah, so she wanted you
juice
to
or
look at it and check it to make sure it was the right stuff, if you wouldn't mind.
Absolutely, I wouldn't mind. Does Kelly know how to send me a message in Messenger?
What do you need to know? Just she's in Hudson, New York. You know, the one you
Of
always
course, let me look at the dispensary. I was going to say, just send me a package of the picture of the package.
Oh no, yeah, no, it's it's in Middletown. She said the one in Middletown. You've looked up her dispensaries before.
Yep. I don't know the name of it, but
It's like
we'll figure it out in a second.
Weed store.
Dispensary.
Guys, don't go.
Middletown, New York.
Yeah, don't forget to check out ownyourownwater.net right here, man.
The Botanist.
The Botanist. Yep.
Is that where she went?
Yeah, that's what she just wrote in the chat.
I didn't see it. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm of age.
Oh, Collins Painting.
Wow.
Oh, you don't live there anymore. I was going to say Collins Painting to come paint.
Oh, it's a nice looking store on the inside. Nice and minimalistic. Okay, so where's the menu? Shop medical.
Anyway, how's everybody else? Please start posting all your questions right over there and make sure you're sharing it out, like I said, and subscribe and go on over to your YouTube, man. We got to get all of our, we're almost at 1 million. We're like a lot away. We got 95 people. Woo, woo. She says she didn't really like that one.
Which one's that?
That dispensary.
The Botanist?
Yeah. But they had the powder, so she said if it's worth it, she'll go there and get it if it's going to work for me.
What brand was it? Can Kelly tell me what the brand was?
Kelly, can you tell him what the brand was?
So I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
No, I don't want topicals. No tincture, no flower. No
it might have been in the tincture area because she was like, "What is this? Tin Couture." And I was like, "Tincture, tincture."
Well, if it's a powder, it wouldn't really be a tincture.
She says, "I will send you a message."
Okay.
Anyway, so much news, Dr. High. Did you see as much?
Was it balance powder that she got?
Maybe. It's a powder. It looks like it's on a spoon, and it's like pour it into water.
This is the picture I'm seeing too.
It's a powder. It was on a spoon.
That's the one I just looked at.
And you kind of put it in the water, and it's supposed to get you fucked up.
Contains water-soluble flavorless powder, Forte 20-to-1 THC to CBD. Nice ratio. Can be added to virtually anything to create an edible infusion, from water to a smoothie to your morning coffee. We encourage patients to experiment in the kitchen with different infusion techniques. Find their perfect dose recipes. We also include a quarter spoon with the power to make it more convenient to dose in 5 to 10 milligram increments. That's a 500 milligram container.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I heard.
So you didn't get the balance. You got the strong powder, the Forte.
She didn't get any of them. She just wants to know.
Oh, no?
No, she's gonna if you say so. It's $80 for that container.
It's 475 milligrams.
Yeah.
So it's the equivalent to half a syringe, half a distillate of a syringe, basically.
The same as having a syringe of the instead.
Yeah, let me ask you, Kelly, how did the drops work for you? Were they effective other than the fact that they made you use the facilities more than you anticipated?
No, she didn't do. She said they were okay. They gave her like a heavy tiredness feeling, but not. And she didn't overall a D, D
So
plus.
what kind of high does Kelly like?
The one that gets really good.
Yeah, but more like an uplifting sativa like high, or more of the indica and a more
I
heavy
think she wants to
stone feeling.
smile and laugh. I think she wants to smile and laugh and giggle.
The 1-to-1 might be a better choice, because they have the Forte, but they also have the Balanced, which is equal parts THC and CBD.
We
So
got
it's a
some
1-to-1.
research to do as well, Dr. High, for in like 2 weeks. We have to stop at a dispensary in Pennsylvania. Oh, are we going earlier now? We thought maybe we changed our mind.
No, you're going to go in Ohio, aren't you, or Michigan?
No, I don't think we're going to even touch Michigan. I think the way it goes, we can get right to where we are in Ohio.
Because
So
Ohio doesn't have recreational legality, though, do they?
no, they don't vote until November 7th.
So
There's no drugs in Ohio right now. I don't think. I don't even think it's medical there. But private property where we're hanging. So
right. So just back to Kelly for a second. So as far as
Yep,
the
we
money's
never
concerned,
left it.
yeah, as far as the money's concerned at $80, what I'll do is I'll reference it back to the drops that you purchased. The drops you purchased were 150 milligrams THC, and I believe the bottle was $35, something of that nature. So, in order to achieve the same amount of THC in the drops as you would in this powder, you would need 3 bottles of drops plus a third of a bottle of drops. So if you start to look at the money, you're at about $120, $115, let's say, for 475 milligrams of THC.
I got to run a
So
commercial.
by comparison, by weight, the powder is actually a better priced product than the drops.
We'll be right back. We'll finish that after the commercial. We'll be right back.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you
But
take
now, is that different than the drops? Because
When
the
you help
drops
care
had
for a loved one,
additives.
you
Does
give
this
them
have
as
the
much
same
time as you can,
additives?
making sure they're
No.
safe and comfortable.
It won't.
But it's
Could,
just as
could it be
important to
better
take some
for me
time for
still,
yourself.
or
At
should we not
AARP,
even waste
we
our
can help
time?
with information and
Drops
resources
did nothing
to
for you.
maintain a healthy
The
life
drops did
balance,
absolutely
care for your
diddly
own
squat.
physical and mental
Did
well-being,
They
nothing
didn't even
for
give
you.
me
manage
the
the
shits.
challenges of caring for a loved
Yeah.
one.
My stomach
Because
is eating
the better care you
worse.
take of yourself, the better care you can
So-
provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Based upon that,
You're there for them. We're here for
would,
you.
I mean, this is
Learn from
exactly
Care
what
Guides
little
to support
boxes
you and
is
your
going to
loved one
send
at
me, right?
aarp.org/caregiving.
probably very similar. Yeah.
aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
All right, class. Let's hear what everyone did this weekend. Jill?
Well, I raised my older sister to a big oak tree. It was at least 100 years old. My mom said I must have set a record or something. And then we went down by a stream and perched up on this huge rock and saw all of these little minnows swimming around way below us. And then I rescued my little brother from an evil slug king who was guarding him at the bush fortress. And my sister and I brought him back to our super twig fort for safety. And then we all laid out and told stories until it got dark. And the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Where were you, Jill?
Yeah, we went to the forest. It's not that far away. Anyone want to come this weekend?
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week and find the fun, adventurous you. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Say bye-bye to bottled water. Holistic Health Water has certified medical-grade water ionizers that make 7 types of water, including healthy alkaline. There's a 5-micron filter that lasts up to a year, and each machine lasts 25 to 30 years. Simply attach to your faucet or install under your sink. Even get a mineral spa unit for your shower. Go to ownyourwater.org to get a free ebook. Plus, pay for any machine in full and get an extra filter free. Change your water and change your life. Ownyourwater.org.
I'm a stoner, a roller, a real dope smoker, toker, a loner, dope smoke choker, play poker with owners for pounds that they're growing, tobacco in the bone with trees, real smoker. I'm a stoner, a real dope smoker, toker, a loner, dope smoke choker, play poker with owners for pounds that they're growing, tobacco in the bone with trees, real moker. I'm a real 100 double O's at the end. I keep a real shit, I don't play pretend. Don't beg, fuck handouts, I earn dividends. Pay my way to the table, hard work with my friends. Don't trip, small shit, gon' turn to big hits. Fucking up the game with missions of success. Guardants with my team, we gon' plan for the best. Shout out cuz gon' eat with our friends. Roll a J, put the hash in it. Hit it twice, then I'm passing it. Got a ash, then we tapping it. Got a ash, then we tapping it. Roll a J, put the hash in it. Hit it twice, then I'm passing it. Got a ash, then we tapping it. Got a ash, then we tapping it. I'm a stoner, a roller, a real dope smoker, toker, a loner, dope smoke choker, play poker with owners for pounds that they're growing, tobacco in the bong with trees, real moker. I'm a stoner, a roller, a real dope smoker, toker, a loner, dope smoke choker, play poker with owners for pounds that they're growing, tobacco in the bong with trees, real moker. Fact is I'm up, y'all can never put me down. Smile on my face, there will never be a frown. 10 toes on the floor, so I'm walking on the ground. Smoke in the air, equivalent to a pound. I'm happy, no ego, I'm me, who are you? Blaze from the hash in a row, keep me cool. Don't need nobody, myself not a fool. My brothers around, they license the tool. Fact is I'm up, y'all can never put me down. Smile on my face, it won't never be a frown. 10 toes on the floor, so I'm walking on the ground. Smoke in the air, equivalent to a pound. I'm happy, no ego, I'm me, who are you? Blaze from the hatch in the road, keep me cool. Don't need nobody, myself not a fool. My brothers around, they license the tool.
Hello, Loki.
WTHC. That was D Flow. You can find him on Instagram with Smoke. I love it. Thank you. That is a great song. I really enjoy that one. Dr. Hi. How are you, buddy?
Yeah, I'm doing good. You?
I'm doing great. Oh, Christopher. Hi, buddy. Christopher says, so I have those plants on a 12-12 light schedule. What should I look for before I change it at all?
They're already on a 12 and 12, Chris. Because as soon as you flip them, when you decide to flip them, the plants are actually good with a 24-hour dark cycle, a full 24 hours dark, and then flip to 12 and 12. But if you already flipped to 12 and 12, nothing to worry about. I'm not sure what you mean. What should I look for before I change it at all?
Hi, Lori.
I mean, are you looking to see if there's a sign of the plant?
How was the quality time with JJ?
Well, as soon as you change your light cycle to 12 and 12, that's what flips the plant. It's that change of light cycle from 18:6 to 12:12 that induces flowering. Now it might take 10 days before you'll start to see the beginnings of flower development. But yeah, if you've already flipped them, then just stay on your regimen. Make sure that in your dark cycle, you don't go in there at all. Just leave it dark. Don't open the zipper and have a peek in or whatever, because it doesn't take much light to disrupt them. And considering you got a tent, you got full control. So it should be pretty good. Yeah.
Dr. Hi. So I don't know. I have a friend here in the Pennsylvania area who may or may not have one plant growing that you usually see on Mondays. His plant, it is beautiful, but all of his leaves seem to be droopy. Is that okay?
It could be thirsty.
Well, yeah, I kind of feed it water a lot, but I mean,
don't feed it too much.
No, not too much.
Let that cup dry to the point where it feels very light. You know what I mean? And then water. You got holes in the bottom of the cup, right?
No.
So that cup is solid cup. There's no holes in the bottom.
Right now, it's been like that, yeah.
You need to poke a couple holes in the bottom.
Well, I was
Or
transplanting
around-
it this weekend. Remember, we're transplanting it to
Okay.
a bigger pot this
Well,
weekend.
get that done because that could be part of the problem. You could either already be getting root bound.
Yeah,
inside
well, I was just gonna say, there's more to this question. One of my little leaves on the towards the very, very bottom is it turned a lighter yellow, so I removed it immediately, and I am now going on. Everything else looks good. I mean, they're just a little, a little curved down, like they're
Yeah,
heavy,
so-
like they're heavy, like they're compared
Yeah.
to the stem that they're on, I guess maybe yet. I don't
Well,
know.
this can probably be like one of two things in the stage you're at right now. One
Right.
is a lack of water, but you're keeping it watered and the cup is heavy, so that's okay.
Yeah, well,
Um,
let me explain my watering process so you know, because I'm an amateur and I'm
Mhm.
first timer. So it's in this little pink Dixie cup, and it started there as a seed, and now it's about 3, maybe 4 inches tall.
Yeah.
It's got nice sets. It's got other little things popping up in
Mhm.
other areas that are kind of private, I would assume. Um, little crotch areas. Anyway, so so the pink cup, no holes. Now I was planning on transplanting it this weekend. I wanted to make sure and verify with you the soil that I want to get before I do it. So make sure we write that down or text me or something so that I
If
have
you
your
can get the soil called Happy Frog,
happy frog.
and if you can get yourself a bag of worm castings, you're in pretty good shape.
I'm sure I can. Now this is for indoor, right? So we're keeping that in mind, making sure that we're going to be doing this indoor, and it's going to be
Yeah,
a
that's
rough
okay.
rough indoor.
That's good quality soil, and it's already been like sterilized and everything. So
I already
Happy
forget the
Frog
name.
is very popular amongst the
Happy
cannabis community.
frogs and worm droppings,
Worm castings, they'll call it, but yeah,
castings, worm
Yeah.
shit. Is that the same
Mm.
thing?
pretty much.
I'll remember it better if it's worm shit than
Yeah.
casting.
Pretty much.
No offense to anybody. I'm
That's
sorry.
at the garden store. You just got to ask them. I need a
I
bag,
need a bag of
Happy
worm
Frog,
shit.
I need a bag of worm
Shit.
worm shit, and they'll be like, "Oh, worm castings, yeah, that's what I
Yes.
want."
See, it'll be so much easier for me because I'll be like, worm. Damn it, what did he say? But I'll say shit, and I'll be like, oh yeah, the worm shit too.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh, and I can tell Mrs. Hippie, I need a bag of worm shit and a bag of Happy Frog, and we're on our way.
Yeah.
All right. So the yellow leaf was the right thing. I pulled it off. Is that bad that there was a
Yeah,
yellow
once
leaf on the bottom?
once the plant once the leaf starts to die, and that's what a yellowing leaf is doing.
Right. I
Then
figured.
all it does is draw energy from the plant
Now-
unnecessarily
now,
and provide no
I
benefit back.
probably didn't do this right, but I kind of just wiggled it a little bit and then went whoop, and it kind of popped right off perfectly.
You know, depending on the stage that a plant's in,
Mhm.
once the plant gets bigger and hardier, I rarely use scissors to pull leaves, right? You just get right close to where the leaf's connected to the stem, a little pinch with your thumbnail and just pop it off.
Yeah, I didn't
But
even pinch.
Gotta
I
be
kind of like
careful because when
it
you do
peeled.
that, if
Does
you
it
don't get it right, you'll pull a little strip of fiber off of that
outer
off
side?
stem at the same time, right? And that's a wound. So the plant now has to put energy to fixing that wound.
All right, so that may have happened the last time, but it was a much smaller leaf, and it happened at only like a quarter of an inch, not even.
Yeah, scissors are the
And
best.
and
bet,
it
really.
doesn't seem like it affected it. This time, the leaf came off perfectly. No damage to it at all. Just the spot where
Yeah,
it was.
because it's already basically dead. So
Yeah,
you
it
know,
didn't
'cause-
look. I was not happy. I was like, "You don't belong here. You're gonna have
Yeah.
to go."
yeah, I mean, we take off dead leaves, but we were also taking off healthy leaves too, in order to improve airflow and
Right.
reduce
We're
the
gonna
mass
take
on
care
the
of all
plant.
that
So
in the near
that's a
future.
different thing. Then you really do want to be using scissors until your plant's big enough to take the abuse if you make a mistake, right?
Right. Well, that's my concern is it's so tender and so small right now. She's just a little baby.
Yeah.
I haven't even named her yet.
Yeah, the reason that you'd want holes in the bottom of the cup and you should have them like right from the jump is because you don't want standing water in the bottom of that cup, right?
I'm
Water that
thinking-
stands inside. So
Well-
with the holes, it can drain out, and it's
Oh,
much easier to control your feeding.
That's what I was gonna tell you. All right, but so when I go out there and I kind of water it once a day, but I do a decent watering. Now that could be wrong, and I'm not saying I'm right.
Yeah, it's probably too much for a plant that size, but
Once a day. Well, it's under. You
Big
got to
valve,
remember, it's under a heat lamp, a light. You know, it's when I go out there every day, it's kind of dry every morning.
on top.
On
But
the
that's why
top.
that's why we
And
never
and the
judge.
container's very light. The container's very
Yeah,
light.
see, now that's the way we always judge plants. Before I watered a plant, if we were in the hand watering, like a lot of that I've done is automatic irrigation,
That's
right?
how I'm watering right now, just dribbling it onto the plant.
Yeah, if it's a hand watering situation, it was never by eye or by feel. It was always by the weight. So we'd always just pick that pot up for a second and feel its weight,
Is it-
right?
Feel and weight the same thing, sir?
Well, no, I'm talking about like
feel.
sticking your fingers in the dirt, right? And
Oh
feeling
yeah,
if
no,
it's
I
dry
don't
or
mess
wet.
with the dirt. I don't mess with the
Yeah.
dirt. So this is what I do. I was gonna tell you, so I might as well tell you before we even go on any further. So I kind of take the little plant and I bring him over, and he's kind of dry, and I turn the faucet on now, and I've got it to the point where I can go just slow enough underneath the faucet, and the water comes down, and it dribbles across the top, and then it absorbs in. And I watch it absorb in. Then I put it under again. I little dribble it on, and then it absorbs in. Then I
Yeah.
do it one more time, and usually that one is a little slower to absorb in. And then I do a fourth one where the water is still just settling on the top, but it's not really absorbing in. And that's when I go and I put it underneath the light. And then between that light being on it and the absorption, I figure it's pretty good. But while I'm doing that, I also kind of go like this with my hand to the cup, and I give it a little like crush, not too hard, not damaging enough to hurt it, but enough to get the dirt to loosen up a little around the roots so that the water goes into the roots. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense to you?
It'll do it naturally because dirt is porous, right?
I'm sure, but I feel like when it comes over and I bring it over to the water, the dirt feels very solid around it, like very hard and solid and dry and
That
light.
might be because it's not dry. That could be the problem because the drier the soil is, the more pliable it is, right? The more dust texture
Right.
and
Well,
looser. And when it's wet, it's going to feel more dense and packed.
so am I bad or am I good? I'm scared.
Well, you're going to transplant and then we'll see.
Right.
I mean, it'll survive regardless, but this is when you're into a pot with a hole in the bottom. Finally, when you're into your next pot, it'll have holes punched
Oh
in the
yeah, I
bottom.
already have
right?
one ready and cleaned and ready to go. I've already picked one out.
So-
Mississippi, I stole it from her. Don't tell her.
You're going to water that plant.
It's not
Until
quite a
you-
5-gallon. Is that okay? It's like a 3.5, 4-gallon, but it's
Yeah, it's going to be fine because you're going to be all right. You're indoors.
right.
You know what I mean? So
It was pretty, and it had holes already in the bottom. It wasn't a Lowe's bucket. It was.
So you just basically water it until you see water run out the holes. Then you stop
Every time.
every time, but you don't water it every day.
Oh,
In your early stages, there won't be any need to do that. But what you're going to do is now once you see that water run off, you're going to stop watering. You're going to pick up the pot and you're going to feel the weight. That's your full wet weight. Now you're going to let it go.
right.
2 days.
2
On the
days
third day, yeah, you're going to go 2 days because your plant's
on
still
an
small.
indoor grow.
You're going into a big pot for a little plant.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of water in that plant, more than the roots can use. And
Is
you
there
don't want to be surrounded by water because it can't get oxygen.
Just a random question. I'm sorry. And it might be silly or not, but is there some sort of other since I'm only growing the one and it's gonna be a stalk, is there some other some other flower or something that I could plant around it that would help or
No,
increase?
because it's just going to take up root space and compete for nutrients.
All right, don't give me
Yeah,
a
no,
dirty
you don't want to do
give
that.
me a
There's no
dirty
need for
look.
that.
It's just a question. You don't have to look at
Yeah.
me like that.
No, you
You were
just
like,
don't need
"Ew."
competition, right? You only want one plant to do
Right?
very,
I
very
want
well.
I was gonna put some marigolds around it and make it
Well,
look
you put
pretty.
marigolds and other pots on the floor around it and let them use the light, but don't let them share the
All right,
nutrients.
all right, all right, all
The
right.
root space.
All right, okay. You don't have to make me look like a puppet, huh?
Yeah, but see, you're gonna feel that pot when you get the runoff. That's gonna be your heavyweight. Then you really kind of want to let it dry out. Because
Now,
your leaves should be up like this, right? When the plant is well watered,
yeah,
your
hold
leaves
on
are
a
going to come
second.
off the stems this way.
You're
As
gonna
the
hate me.
water
You're gonna
drops,
hate me, but I've got a lot of questions. I got a lot of questions, or you're gonna hate me.
mm-mm.
All right. So when I'm doing this on an indoor, I need to know, like, I don't have the tent that we're talking about. So I'm going to build a little closet and have the light in there with the closet, and I'm going to do it that way.
Yeah.
Tarp on the floor because you're talking about a lot of water running out. And I'm
Yes,
gonna
that's why when you grow
how
in
the
the
hell am I
house,
supposed to get my garden hose in here to water it? I got to water it with
you only need a watering can.
a
And
watering
watering
can.
can's better anyway because you're going to
Okay.
want to go to Amazon. You're going to want to get yourself some nutrients.
Right.
A special cannabis formulation there, not very expensive. I got a couple bags I can show you right here. Came from Amazon.
Okay.
And you don't want to waste the nutrients. They're not crazy expensive, but they're not cheap either. They're not $5. You know what I mean? You're going to pay $35 or $40 for your veg and your bloom together.
Good morning, Tina. Welcome in,
Tina.
everybody. I'm sorry.
And
we
I'm
haven't
going to
been
get right
ready
to that in a minute, Chris. As soon as I'm done talking with Hippie about this here.
Oh, we can never be done. I got a million questions.
Yeah.
But I try to stay to where we are at. So I mean, we're getting ready to transplant. So I'm kind of learning right now because I'm getting ready to transplant
Yep.
into the next phase, I guess we would call it, right? Phase
Yep.
2. Phase
Yep.
2.
You're going from your propagation phase to your
Let me ask you a question.
phase.
Let
Yep.
me ask you a question. Can I tell if it's a boy or a girl by now?
No.
Okay, so I'm still growing this shit with the chance that it could have
You
balls.
can't tell whether it's male or female until you induce flowering.
So this could be a waste. This whole thing could be a waste.
Could
One
be.
plant could be a
Could be.
complete waste.
Yeah,
That's why you
could
always
be.
want to have at least 2, dumbass.
Well, that's why they don't just tell you one seed most of the time either, right?
Yeah,
Because
no, that's why I just said
Uh-huh.
that. That's why you want to have at least 2, dumbass.
but
I'm not very bright.
yeah, you won't know until you induce the flower.
Well, the other 2 just didn't want to participate. They were
For the
not
most part.
interested.
They just weren't viable.
Yeah, they just
But-
didn't want to participate.
Now, you want to let that plant dry out. So you see the leaves going from this way to this way. This
Well,
is
see,
your
that's right now.
but this is going to be your first watering after you transplant it because what you're trying to do is understand when your plant needs water and when it doesn't need water.
But sir,
Because
my
you can overwater a plant and kill it.
my original question really was about my leaves
Right.
cooling down. Does that mean I'm not watering it enough, sir?
No, it could mean different things because you're in a pot that has no drainage.
Right.
So it could be too much water, it could be too little water, or it could be that the plant has become root bound, which means there's no more space for its roots to expand. So the plant is suffering.
I'm gonna go with 3.
Let's hope it is. You're going to know as soon as you go to transplant it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna. When I open that thing up, I'm thinking it's just a big ball of yellow roots.
Well, don't cut down as far as the roots, though, when you cut the cup.
I
Just
don't
cut-
plan on cutting the cup.
cut
I'm gonna
like-
do the whole flip it over thing that you were
Well,
talking
yeah,
about.
but you're going to want to just cut the cup a little bit around the top first anyway to kind of loosen it up because you have that dirt sealed right on the edge. So you don't want to.
Yeah, that's what I usually do when I do that little cracky thing. I kind of break it away from the side wall.
Yeah,
so
you could do that when you're about to
so
transplant.
water goes down when water goes down around the side. So
Yeah.
more water gets down in there on the side. I'm not really crushing it, but I'm just making it looser around the outer shell.
Yeah. So you want to do for your first watering cycle once you've done your transplant is you want to go from full water where runoff occurs
Right?
to no water.
Ugh.
And people think that no water, oh, that's bad, but it's not bad for a short period of time, because what it does is it creates stress in the roots,
Right.
and the roots will work to find water.
Right.
So as there's less water available, the roots have to work harder to find that water, so they grow.
Right.
Right. So
Work. Roots work.
this is a reason why you don't overwater, because you can create a lazy plant, or you can simply starve the roots of oxygen because it's always in a water environment where no oxygen is available.
Nobody want no lazy plants.
Yeah. So
Ain't got no
that's,
time for no lazy plants.
and then once you've determined your heavyweight and your lightweight, then you, by picking up your pot, you'll be able to say to yourself, oh, this needs water today. No, I can wait till tomorrow.
All right.
You know what I
right,
mean? And
Right.
you just pick it up and just check it. It's really simple.
All right. I'm excited. I'm excited. The only thing bad is that Mrs. Hippie's going away this weekend, so I'm really doing it all on my own. Like usually she's
It's
got the green
so
fingers.
easy.
Yeah. All right. So I put all this cat shit, worm shit and frog shit in there.
You mix the dirt and the castings together. You're
all
not going to have
mixed
to,
together.
I mean, because you're going to get a bag that's probably like 15 liters or something like that of soil, and maybe 5 liters of worm castings.
What the hell?
You're not going to use anywhere near that much,
What the hell?
but it doesn't matter. You can put that dirt aside and it's still good.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Mrs. Hippie will use it for
whatever.
all her shit. I'm sure
Yeah.
she'll steal the rest and grow her plants in it. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
exactly. So,
Yeah,
no big deal, but you just gentle in the process. You'll get your dirt into your receiving container. You'll make a nice hole in the middle already. When you transplant, you want to basically bring the new plant, the top of your dirt level,
up to the
to
bottom
right
leaves.
about the top of the dirt level in your transplant container. If you end up adding like a 1/4 inch of dirt that goes up that initial stalk, it's not a big deal. Roots will start to grow from there. You know what I mean?
Okay. So I don't want to bury it any deeper than it's already been buried, is what you just said.
Yeah,
maybe,
like a little
maybe
bit, like
a little top layer just to make it
yeah,
look
a 1/4 inch is no big deal, but you don't want to bury it up to its bottom leaf set. There's no
right. And do I go in there and do I break up those roots a little? I know
no, don't touch them.
leave them just the way they are, solid
There's-
in that cup form. They're going to be in a cup form.
Yeah,
They're
just
gonna
think about this, right?
Uh-huh.
Breaking roots would be like going inside your own body and snipping blood vessels.
Right. Well, I don't want to break them. I wasn't really
No, you
necessarily
don't want to
saying
loosen.
break
Yeah,
'em. I
but
was just
even
gonna
they're so
loosen 'em.
delicate that
Yes, I
any
agree.
manipulation with them will break them. You know what I mean?
I
So
agree. Yep, I agree. And you're the doctor. I take
gentle,
your advice.
gentle and tender with that.
I will tell my friend, because that's the next phase. He lives in New York where he's allowed to do this stuff. So thank you for all that advice. I will tell him.
problem. So Chris says, I try to water once in the morning, but I also have a spray bottle. I hit the leaves maybe 1 or 2 times throughout the day. So with the plants the size you're at, Chris, you're probably about once a day water now, just because those plants will utilize a lot more of the water that's going into the soil and the nutrients. And you can actually take a little bit of your nutrient water that you're using to feed the plant through the dirt. You can put that into your spray bottle, and you can do like foliar feeding with that. You don't really need to do it twice a day, but 1 time a day to mist the top of those leaves. Let's say if you're watering in the morning, be careful to the end of your light cycle for the day. So let's say your lights on at 7 a.m. and lights off at 7 p.m. You don't want to do any kind of foliar stuff after, let's say, 3 o'clock, because you want to make sure that there's no moisture left on those leaves at all, that they're perfectly dry when you go into your dark cycle, because the dark cycle is also the colder cycle. Even though it's not going to vary by a huge amount, it does vary a little bit, and that's the opportunity for powdery mildew and mold and things like that to develop. So just make sure that you're not doing it so close to the lights going out that droplets or any water stays on the leaf. Yep.
All right. Couple questions.
Yeah.
First question. We don't want water on the leaves. Is that what you just said?
Not when you're going into the dark cycle. No.
Okay.
It's okay during the light. If there's time for it to be to come off, right? To dissipate from the leaf. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So my next question is, so I'm doing this indoors, right?
Yeah.
And the question just went right in and right out the head. So, damn it. It was a good one too.
Mhm. Well, we were talking about foliar feeding.
Keep talking. Keep talking.
No, we're talking about spraying the leaves and having to be careful between your light and your dark cycle.
Dark and light cycle. Thank you.
Yep.
So what is my next cycle now that I'm going to be transplanting? Is it still what?
18 and 6.
18 and 6. And is that
Yep.
what I should be on right now?
Yeah.
18 and 6. All right. And when was I supposed to switch to that?
Is that an auto flower?
Mine, no.
Okay, so it's not an auto flower. So 18.6 is what you want.
All right. And if it's a little more, is that bad?
No, not at this stage. It's not.
Okay,
Not
because
until-
it
not
might
until you
be.
go into flower.
It might right now. It might be 24
Yeah,
light.
like the plants do need a dark cycle, but I know some people that'll go 20 and 4 too.
Well,
right?
It's like
So-
24 hours light.
Yeah, don't 24 hours late is really not.
All right, so I'll start turning it off at night.
Like
now.
everybody needs a chance to rest, right?
Yeah, no. But
Plants
I always thought it was a full light for the first couple of months.
No, they're like us, right? Like we heal when we sleep. We don't necessarily heal while we're awake. Healing happens for us while we're sleeping. So plants are kind of the same. So when you always have the light on them, they're always active and always working, right? They're always absorbing that energy and converting over. So you want to give them a chance to rest too every day. Yeah.
So what was your suggested times right now?
18 and 6.
18.
18 hours of light, 6 hours of dark.
Because I got a timer on it, so I just hit the timer and set it up.
Yeah.
Then
That's what you want right now.
I just got to figure out what time of the damn day it is.
Yes.
Because it'll be going off in the
Well,
daytime.
if we're on a timer doing an 18 and 6.
Well, yeah, I haven't. I'm once I go to this bigger pot, do I move it into the closet area now?
Well, yeah, the more you can control the environment, the better.
Right. Well, now that I'm going to be going 18 and 6, it'll be a lot easier to do 6 in this little room in the
Yeah,
closet.
and basically you set your timer for 6 in the morning and turns off at midnight.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So I can bring, so it's going to leave the other room with all the other beautiful flowers that Mississippi grows, and it's going to come towards this room now. AC is going to be no longer. I don't need it anyway. I'm freezing my ass off today.
If you think in terms of Celsius,
Yeah.
you want to keep your grow chamber with the lights on 25, 26 degrees Celsius.
Okay. Now I think of it in different things. So Fahrenheit.
Yeah, but a lot of thermometers now will have both, especially in digital. You can either go Fahrenheit or
Yeah. All right.
so you can just do the conversion in your own head. Like I have a hard time thinking in Celsius also.
Right.
I still think in Fahrenheit, even though Canada is all Celsius. I'm confused all the time, right? I know 20
Yeah, I was
degrees
gonna say.
Celsius is like 70.1 degrees or something like that. But
Yeah, Raggy's always confusing me with that shit over there. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's like 30 degrees. I'm like, what?
yeah,
It's like I'm sweating. I'm like, what?
no, that's it. But because I worked in Canada, I was used to that for temperatures for the grow room. That's how we recorded them. So
Right.
25, 26 in the light cycle and 19, 20 in the dark.
Okay, we'll do our best. I have a
And make
little
sure you put a
heater.
fan in that little room too.
I have a little heater in here, and I have a fan in the air conditioner. Will that work? Like I could just put the fan on in the air conditioner.
Well, you want just a small fan inside that room because even when you're in the dark,
like a little one to blow on the plant. Right.
yeah, not direct, but you want an oscillating one that creates air movement inside the space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll go to the dollar store, get one of them little plastic.
Yeah, you just need a little cheap one. Like you're
goes
not
back.
going to grow a massive plant in there anyway.
Oh man, I'm looking for a couple ounces. That's all.
Well, you're likely going to finish it at 3 to 4 feet. That's probably going to be like where you're going to top out inside a closet. So even a 12-inch oscillating fan is maybe more than you need. You might get away with an 8 or a 10 in a space like that size,
Good
in
to
a
know.
closet. So
Yeah, it's not your average size closet either. It's a smaller.
yeah, I mean, I don't know what the space looks like, but
I would
and,
say it's probably 3 feet wide by 3 feet deep, and
and what
it's
I would do, are the walls painted? Is it drywalled inside?
it is painted flat white.
Flat white is good because it's reflective.
Yeah, I gotta
So
get a
that'll
bunch.
that'll bring the light back off the walls into the plan itself. You want to tarp the floor because there will be water involved.
Right, that's
You know
what I
what I
was
mean?
asking. That's
Yeah,
what I was
you
asking
wanna
before.
tarp
It
your
sounds
floor.
like a lot of water be running off in my little bathroom
Oh no,
here.
because you're not going to be like stupid about it, right? You're going to pay attention to what you're doing.
I
And
can't guarantee anything.
you'll get a feel for it.
I can't guarantee anything.
Well, I
I
can
can
tell
guarantee
you.
this. We got to do a commercial, sir.
Oh yeah, it's that time.
Yeah. We'll be right back. You're hanging with the hippie and Dr. High on WTHC Radio.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute? When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges
thing
of
on?
caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you. You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. Public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Yeah, that's always. I mean, I'm sitting there. I was out of flour last
All
week.
right,
I was
class.
in bad shape.
Let's hear what
smoking
everyone
pickle
did
piss.
this weekend.
I was
Jill?
like ready to
Well,
go
I
cut
raised
that
my older
shit down and
sister to a
stuff it
big
in my
oak tree.
bowl.
It was at
I was
least
like, that looks
100
better
years
than
old.
the shit
My
I'm
mom said it
smoking.
must have said
Wait,
record.
you see what Chris says right there? I think my biggest problem is I get anxious and impatient with them.
Huge rock.
Yeah, that's
That
what I was
is
just
why
Little
responding to.
minnow
I'm
swimming
not a
around me below.
cultivator.
And then I rescued my little brother from an evil
That's why I'm an
snake.
extractor,
This
because I
morning
like
in
my
the
instant
bush
results. Doug, how are you? It's been a while. How's everything going?
For safety. And then we all laid out and told stories until it got dark, and the Big Dipper led us all the way home. Where's
Doesn't take
Ruby,
much,
Jill?
Karen. If you know
We
about
went to
cannabis,
the
you got a
forest.
cannabis store, you're in the
It's not that
cannabis
far away.
business, we'd love
Anyone
to
want
have.
to come this
We'd
weekend?
love to have you. I'm actually,
Ask your parents
I
to
was
take you and your
working
friends
today
to the
on
forest this week
preparing
and find the fun,
a
adventurous
post
you. It's
for my
closer
social
than you think.
media,
Check out
looking for people who
discovertheforest.org.
either wanted to
Brought to
share
you by
their
the U.S.
experience
Forest
with
Service and the Ad
medical
Council.
marijuana, if they had a marijuana business.
Hey, Dr. Tippy, why don't we take a
I
ride
wish,
to the
I
doctor?
wish Garrett and I were
Doctor?
friends
What's
on
a doctor?
Facebook. Because if you had
Crystal.
on Messenger, if
Oh,
we were
but
friends
I
on
thought you hung
Messenger
out with
right
him
now,
on
I'd just
Facebook and
invite
on
you.
TikTok.
That's only
Yeah,
on
you're gonna have to
Mondays,
find us on Facebook
Tuesdays,
so that we can send you
Saturdays,
the invite. But
Sundays. Today I
absolutely,
want to go there and pick up all my great finds.
That sounds like a great road trip. That's Bella's Badass Crystals on TikTok and Facebook, but you can also find them on the top
we
of
are
the mountain. in
always
Boston. Yes,
interested
we
in
are.
speaking with other cannabis savvy individuals.
WTHC. Good afternoon, everybody. 12:52 over here on the East Coast. Man, today is flying by. I've been asking a lot of questions. I apologize. I've been talking too much, guys. All right, Dr. Pye, it's your turn.
Well, you know what? This is not talking too much. This is just like, these are the kind of things
I
that
feel like
that-
it's educational, and it's good that I'm special, so
Yeah,
that
because
people
who
that are
knows
just
who's got the
starting
same
out
questions, right?
can keep up with me, and I'm hoping I'm asking stupid enough questions that everybody can understand them. You know what I
Well,
mean? Like,
there's two aspects, right?
and I'm
Either-
really asking them because I really want to know. They're not stupid. No
Yeah, well-
question's ever a stupid question. First, of all.
Either people are interested in the same type of knowledge, or through your questions, it might make somebody say, "Oh, but what about this?"
Right.
You know what I
or
mean?
I
Or
do it this
what about
way.
that?
Or I
So-
do it that way. Why do you do it that way, Dr. High?
Yeah, it's all about inspiring conversation, and the thing is, right? If you take 100 different growers, they'll all have their own method, and I guarantee you, every single one of them is the best at what they do.
Oh, I'm the best. First of
So
all, have you seen my plant? I'm the best already. I already know it.
this is something that I've found amongst the growing community is that
Now-
every individual is the best
We're
You
gonna
know, so
come
you
out
have a
with
whole
our
bunch
own
of-
strain, Dr. High. I'm gonna come out with our own strain, yours and mine. We're gonna have
Oh, yeah?
two. Yeah, I'm gonna be the indica. You're gonna be
Call it hippie high. The
the
hippie high strain.
yeah, Dr. Hippie and Dr. High.
The doctor.
Classic medical, like one of them ones from the elixir.
Yeah.
We'll call it something
Like
like that.
Dr. Harris was talking about, the snake
Right.
oil salesman.
Right. We're gonna go that route. All
Yeah.
right. So when we do this now, I got my first plant going.
Here, just
You
search.
gotta go to tie dye tea, I think. TYEDYETEE. Let me try. I mean, I'll try the invite right now.
That's you can find me, Garrett, on Facebook, and just look for my Dr. High logo, the same as you see in that window there.
Yeah, I don't have a
Yeah,
Scott
so-
Garrett and a Chris Garrett. I
Yeah,
don't
what
have-
Chris was saying about impatient with him, yeah, that's the whole reason that I'm much more passionate about extraction than I ever was about cultivation, because I don't have that patience either. Like it takes somebody who's really willing to put out a lot of love for a long time before they get any love back. And I don't know why, but
Right.
yeah.
So back to my question though, is now I got my one going. Now I need another strain going, right? Of some different type of strain. And then we have many years ahead of us before we can create the high and doctor
You
or
know,
whatever.
seriously, if I was you right now, I
Uh-huh.
would. There's one or two people that I can put you in touch with probably, and instead of buying seeds, buy the actual clone, because people will mail clones.
Really?
Yeah, you can mail them. Like, they're incredibly hardy, right? You can take a clone, you can cut it right from a fresh cutting, no root, no nothing. You can put 4 or 5 of them together in a bundle of wet paper towels,
Uh-huh.
seal them in a Ziploc bag,
Uh-huh.
and send them in the mail. And
Uh-huh.
they'll live for like a week like that. And then when you get them, you put them in, and they'll start to take, like, they're incredibly hardy, that plant. So yeah, you don't actually have to buy.
What the hell am I doing, Dr. High?
In Canada, some of the licensed producers, because if you're a medical marijuana patient in Canada, in order to obtain your seeds or clones, you have to work with your cannabis supplier, right? Because once you're a patient here, you register with one of the licensed producers, and you become a patient to their supply chain. So because you're allowed to cultivate here, if you actually have the cultivation license, you can purchase clones or seed stock from your licensed producer, and they'll send it to you, just like you've ever seen somebody get a single rose. It's got that small little
with the little green thing on the bottom where the stem
Yeah,
is staying in it.
it's
It's
similar
cut
to
on
that.
an angle. Yeah.
but it's more of a sponge inside than actual loose water.
And now these clones, if they're already grown a little bit and they're ready to go, you stick them in the searle, and then what? Does it cut a couple months off of my grow time as well? Weeks? Cuts a couple days, weeks.
That if there is any
Don't
time
say
change-
there's not enough research. I don't want to hear that.
no,
one.
no. What I'm going to say is there's not enough of a difference to choose one over the other in your situation.
My situation being that I'm poor.
No, your situation being that you're only growing a couple of plants.
Oh, and the fact that I'm not growing any plants. It's my friend in New York who's growing them.
Right. I mean, that's
Right.
the idea, right? When you're trying to propagate a room with 1,000 plants,
No.
if you're in commercial production like I was, we want to have a consistent product across the board, right? If we're growing slurricane, we want all the slurricane from that room to be the same product, because it's going to be part of the same batch lot.
Question.
Yeah.
Back to the clones now.
Mhm.
Now, where does it draw the line on making your own when I want to make my own strain. Now, if I take 3 or 4 different clones and I make them make love and I do all the stuff I'm supposed to do, when I say I mean we, because you'll be there with me the whole way.
Good day, Steve.
Good day, Steve. Or good night, Steve.
It's funny. He's the only Facebook user I can pick off right away.
I know. And he knows it too, so he loves it. He's like, good day. We all know who it is. Anyway, so like I know it's not an easy process, but I'm willing to do the work because officially this year we're going to vote here in Pennsylvania, and it's of course going to go regular, and we're going to be able to grow at least our medical patients. And I want to create my own strain, so we're going to be able to do that. You're going to be able to help me with that. I guess that's the first question.
I mean, we can look at that. I've not done a lot of that stuff at all.
You know, like right now, I don't technically have the right equipment. You know, I'm not talking. You know, I don't want to start with this plan.
When you start getting into genetics, right, you have to start learning about splicing, or you have to start working with pollen and flower. You know what I mean? There are different ways to do it, like to create a seed stock, and then you plant, a bunch of seeds, and then you see which plants are the best plants amongst the ones that you've purchased. That's your pheno hunting, right? When you're looking for the right.
I don't want to do all that work. I don't want to do all that work. Is there somebody out there who wants to make a strain for us?
There are plenty of people out there that are breeders, that's for sure, and people who.
We need a strain maker because I don't want to do all that work.
No, it is a lot of work, and it's a lot of time.
I mean, I want to have, I would love to be able to do it, but that sounds like, like I got to make them have sex and stuff, and I don't like to watch that kind of stuff. I'm not into the porn.
No, there's nothing to be fun about that, unless you're talking about creating a slice and then stirring a stock into it.
No. Speaking of stocks, man, the news today was crazy on all sorts of stuff up there. All right, Christopher, you're on it. Christopher's going to make us a strain.
Did Garrett find you on Facebook?
I have no idea. Garrett, did you find me on Facebook? I don't know. What do you think? I'm psychic? I got 27,000 new messages every time.
Tie-dye T, right? T-E-E.
Yeah, TYE_TEE.
I didn't get the underscore.
He found Dr. High. He found Dr.
I can't send the invite though because it's your.
No, you should be able to, bro.
It's your.
Mrs. Hippie says you're supposed to be able.
Here, go to that one, Garrett. Search that on Facebook, and you'll be able to friend Hippie, and then he can bring you in.
I hope. Don't guarantee nothing.
Well, that's how you do it. So
is that the one you're friends with that I got you in?
What's that?
That's how I invite you every day?
I guess so. Yeah, exactly how. Yep.
With tie-dye tea.
Yep.
All right. I still don't got no Garrett's.
Yeah, I mean, when you start getting into this strain, creating your own strains and stuff, you really have to be deep into it. Like a couple of years from now, once you understand what's going on with plants, yeah, absolutely, you can take that shot. But it's
well, if I don't have to, and we have a friend here who would be willing to do that and create a wonderful strain.
Well, the thing is it's so much work that most people
I wanted to be certain. I wanted to be kosher tangy.
Yeah, see, most people that would do that have to have a lot of passion for doing it. So would they do it for you? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know a lot of guys that would, because there's a lot of vanity too there, right? There's a lot of pride that goes into that sort of thing.
Do you see this face? Tell me I am not the market for weed. I could be on every container.
It's like Master Rochi. I don't know if you ever seen any Master Rochi's products, but the avatar that he uses in that, I mean, it's so perfect. You know what I mean? Like, it's really great packaging, what he's doing there. So Garrett's has got nothing going on. He can do whatever research we want.
Right. See, Garrett, we like that. Let me see if I can find Garrett again.
Yeah, but I mean, clones are a good way to go, right? They're more predictable, and the thing is once your plant matures, you might be able to cut 25 clones off it in one day. And then if you can get a success rate on your clones above, 60, 70%, you can always continue on. But the thing is once you get into that, you actually need 2 grow spaces. You need one for vegetative and one for flower, where you can control the lights differently and they don't interfere with each other.
I have so many friend requests right now. I don't even have an idea where I would even see Garrett. I would have to accept it, right? Before I could even invite him, don't you think?
Yeah, that would be my guess. That would be my guess.
All right, Garrett, we're going to have to work on this for tomorrow. Monday, I mean.
There he is. Garrett Beener. Got it.
All right. Anyway, 1:05 in the afternoon out there, you guys on Live 365 and tune in. Thank you so much for being here. You got to come over and hang out with us on Facebook and YouTube. Watch the show because we're not just on the radio over here. It's actually, you can see Hippie and Dr. High. We're live streaming. So Monday is a holiday. Dr. High, are you celebrating the high holiday of whatever Monday is? I don't even know what it is.
I'm celebrating because my wife is working, so she'll be earning time and a half that day.
Yeah, my wife will be away as well, so I don't need to worry about anything. I think she'll be coming home some point on Monday.
But yeah, we can do the show on Monday. I don't care. I mean, if people
I'm
have
gonna
the time
do
to pay attention to us, then
you know what we're gonna do, Dr. High? We're gonna do a 3-day, 24-hour a day, 3 days, 24 hours a day, you and I, nonstop marathon, playing music and talking weed for Labor Day.
There we go. Well, I got some of these to enjoy while we do it.
What do you think, we're on Facebook or YouTube or something? Oh, we are.
I had to head up to the res this morning, so I had to swing by. And
Shirley Kell's going to be one of our guests on Monday for Labor Day.
Of course, you can come up on Monday. You can come anytime, Kel. You're always with us.
Yeah,
you're part of the show, whether you like it or not.
She's up in the picture above your head over
just
there.
Be careful if you're trying to maintain a good reputation. You might not want to associate too deeply with us here.
She's working now, but she can come up on Monday. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
All right, so we got Curly Cal and Garrett will be here on Monday. We're going to talk weed and our love for it, our experiences. Are you frozen or are you just looking at something?
Me?
Yeah. No,
no, I was just looking through the chat.
Okay. Garrett is a local friend of you. Oh, we got Garrett and Christopher. They can work together and grow our strain.
I know. I seen Chris posted today that he's getting another tattoo and he's got a couple more competitions coming up. So that's kind of cool.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me yesterday, he was like, "You've been in competitions for your tattoos? You should be." And I was like, "Nah, man, I never been in no damn competitions for tattoos. I don't even know what to
I got lots of them, but these were all made. I made this ink myself.
Yeah, well, that's what you got. Nothing else to do when you're where you're hanging out. Where you were.
All that work was done with a beard trimmer motor, a piece of guitar string, and ink that I made myself. And I'll tell you what, considering how old these are, there's been no fading. There's been no bleeding of the colors into each other. Nothing. It's been really, really very good.
That's a young picture of me when I was really young, if you look. But behind you is the one. I'm the one with the doobie in my mouth.
What? Where?
Our background. You don't see it.
Oh, I just saw what it was. I didn't even recognize anything. Didn't notice that.
It's a picture from me when I was a child. The one right behind you, though, is where I'm at, and I'm
your first baby picture.
I'm in the lead, and I got a big doobie hanging out of my mouth, but unfortunately, you're blocking it. So
there we go.
I had a feeling that's why I didn't put it up, but I said, let's check it. There we go.
There you go. So, are you legal for cultivation there too, Garrett? or just legal for recreational and medical consumption. See, even a small plant count, you can do a lot with it.
It's legal here, he said.
Yeah. Legal is good. I don't
There
know.
you
Maybe
go.
I'm going to put a little tent in my next place, right in the, because I got
You
a
said
second
the
bedroom.
place is half the quarter of the size of where you're living now, and now you're gonna put a plant.
Well,
This
because
is
I'm
how
gonna, I'm gonna set up my own little, the second bedroom will be like a little studio office,
all
right?
right, and so you will have like an office like me, and then you'll have it growing in here like me. I mean,
Yeah,
not
I'm
me,
thinking
my
about
friend over in New York.
getting all my glass out, so all my glass will be displayed behind me. And
Oh my goodness! By the way, I don't know what it's called. I don't know where he got it from, but last night I'm hanging with my buddy Muck Sticky, and
yeah,
we're chilling out in the Discord, and he got a gift from somebody. I wish I knew who, because I would love to shout him out. This fucking thing was amazing. It was a dab rig.
yeah,
It stood 2 feet tall, okay? It was clear, see-through. It was electronic. So you turn it on, and the water turned into a hurricane, tornado, like, like a whirlpool. And then when he was like, "It's a fucking amazing," he said, "The only thing that it needs is it needs a cap. It needs a cap for it.
so you don't pull
Besides,
the water.
I got on the top. I don't know what you. I
Yeah.
never really dabbed like that.
Oh,
So I don't
maybe
know
a
what
carb
you got,
cap. You might be talking about a carb cap for on top of the nail.
like on top of the nail or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. He said you could get a better hit if it had a cap or whatever. I
Yeah,
don't know.
because a carb cap's very, very important. If you see when people
I've
dab,
never.
and they put
I
that
don't
little,
dab that. Yeah, I've never dabbed that way. I've seen
yeah, they
people.
put that little cap on the nail. It creates the convection, and a lot of carb caps have an air hole that runs through it. So as you're pulling, it doesn't go straight down; it's offset. So as you pull, it forces the oil to swirl around inside the bowl.
Yeah, I
and
get
pick up
I get the
best heat.
premise of it. I get the premise of it, but I'm not one for doing that. I just haven't went and bought myself a nice dab rig yet. I've been pretty happy with my nectar collecting because I feel like I can control how much I smoke. Where these guys are putting big globs in, I'm like, I don't want to.
But you don't have to put big globs in. You
I
control
can't
more
afford,
how you
I
smoke
can't, I
without
can't
it than you do.
afford big globs. I can't afford to put big globs.
But the whole thing is actually with dabbing, it's a lot of fiddling around for sure, and that's probably one of the biggest reasons I don't dab very often anymore.
And I have soft
But-
hands, and the dab sticks to my fingers, and then it never comes off, and then my fingers are stuck to my beard.
But you actually have a lot more control in dosing when you dab than even with a nectar collector, because with the nectar collector, you're running it into the material. When you dab, you're putting it onto a dab tool first and then putting it into the nail. So you can actually choose
but what-
exactly how much you're going to do.
Let me explain how I do it. I mean, I'm sure it's the same as everybody else, but I kind of like flatten it out, make it nice and flat, and then I just take my nectar collector and I go very lightly along the side, one side to the other, and it's a quality hit, and then that's a hit, and it
Yeah.
barely,
I mean, you can do whatever you want, right?
it barely takes anything away. It's just a nice graze across the edge there. It heats,
That's the joy of cannabis is
And
you can
then-
consume it in whatever way makes you happiest.
and I love it. But we were talking this morning, and I was discussing it with our friends back on the Discord, and I said, our friends do dabs, and they do like one big, huge dab, and I'm like, oh, and I feel weird because I'm over here with my little nectar collector. And I was like, all right, so if I do one big hit from my nectar collector, does that count as like one big, huge dab? Is that the same? I mean,
Yeah, pretty much.
so then when I'm doing it, like they do one and then they put their thing down, which is very good. And I wish I could do that more often. So really, when I do it, whenever I do dabs, I do three. I do it 3 times.
Okay.
So I go and I nectar collect and I light it, and then I nectar collect and I light it, and then I nectar collect and then I turn it off and put it away. It's like my pattern, three dabs in a row. So am I really just going way overboard? And one should be satisfactory.
I would do one and then at least wait long enough to see if one was enough, and then
Yes.
figure it out, right?
Yeah, well, I guess so. I mean, yeah, but
Can't
I
go
mean,
backwards.
I'm so far in now. I don't know if I could go back. It's like I've been in this game for 6 years now. This dabbing thing,
So if you're interested in nice glass, nice dab rigs and stuff like that, even if you just like to look at the visuals,
They
I
sent
just
me for
popped
free. Like
I just popped the name into the chat for I don't actually know him, but I know his mother. And she taught him how to blow glass. She's been a glass blower for
that's
you know,
that guy you were telling us you were going to get us
Yeah.
on here, and you never did.
Oh no, I don't think I can get him on there for sure.
You can get the number you said.
Yeah, I don't have any connection to him like that. But if you want to see really incredible stuff, check out his stuff. You can spend 25 grand on a dab rig with him.
What?
Yep.
Who the hell would buy a $25,000 dab rig?
Believe it or not, people do.
Does the thing give me a hand job while I'm in there?
No, but people do. You know, I once asked that to somebody I know. One of the store
give you a
owners.
hand job?
Well, one of the store owners that I used to work with when I was doing the wholesale stuff, a guy named Steve, owns 710 Kingston.
Shout out 710 Kingston.
Yeah, he was a huge dab guy, and he had
Big
plenty of money.
Big like my puppet handler, huge.
I mean, probably make you look like a beginner.
No, I mean like size wise, big.
No, he wasn't big like that. What I'm talking about is he was a heavy user.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like more so than pretty much anybody I've ever met.
Shout out to the heavy users. Woo woo.
But this guy used to carry his dab rigs in those Pelican cases. So he'd have the foam all cut up to fit it and everything. And
the big mouth bird.
And yeah, he'd pull out these are these hard-sided cases people use for guns to carry to secure their guns and stuff. Like they're the kind of case that you could probably hit it with a baseball bat and it won't crack. You know what I mean? Like
Some dude came into the store today. I mean, last night, not to cut you off, but last night, some dude, I was a little surprised they let him come in. He had some sort of a briefcase with him when he came into the dispensary, into the room, and he had a mask on, and he was very sus.
That would have been enough to make me want to press that button underneath to lock the doors.
I'm glad I was on my way out when I turned and saw him coming in. I was like, I don't know. I'm see you guys later. Have a good day. Take care. And I ran.
See, and that's one of the problems in the States because these businesses are unbanked.
Labor Day. That's why the damn place was mobbed. Holy Christ. I just remember now. I'm like, why was that place?
Maybe a doctor. Yeah, maybe, Kelly. Maybe a doctor.
I went in there. Oh, it might have been a doctor. Yeah, maybe. No, he didn't look like a doctor. He kind of looked like a neighborhood bum kind of guy. No offense to you, dude. Shout out to the neighborhood bums. But he you don't laugh at my stupidity. You make me laugh then. He now I lost where I was going again, damn it.
You're talking about the shady guy.
No, after that we were going on to something else. Oh, I walked out. I ain't never seen the place that crowded, man. There was 30 people sitting in chairs waiting. I go there normally. It's like nobody. You can go right back. You know, it used to be like 30 people in the chairs when we first opened 5-6 years ago. But nowadays, I don't know. Now it's 30 people. Yeah, I will. Thank you for reminding me, Lori, that now neighborhood
we're almost there.
Yeah, I got to get some songs going and some 420 songs. And you take over while I look around because I have nothing prepared.
Well, I'll just come back up here to what Garrett was saying about
whoop, whoop, neighborhood buns.
The law says you can have 8 plants with 4 in rotation at a time, which is absolutely reasonable. Because nobody's telling you how big you can grow those plants, they're only telling you how many you can have. And with an 8-plant rotation, it's pretty good because you have 4 in veg, 4 in flower. 4 in veg, 4 in flower.
You guys will hear the rest of this when we get back.
They should allow you 3 stages.
Okay, man. This is your time.
No, you can keep talking.
Maybe you didn't choose
I'm
this.
sure he can hear you. I just can't.
Now.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say
go out
there
there.
should be 3 stages.
You
You
all
should be allowed
start
to have
here.
4.
It's up to you.
Propagation
What are you
also.
gonna do?
You should be able to have 4 clones.
You gotta go grocery shopping.
4 in veg, 4 in
Please.
flower.
Either emotionally and
That's
physically.
reasonable,
Gotta
and
take
that
deep
way
in.
you don't have any lag time from one to the next because you harvest,
Pharmacy.
you harvest your flower, you move your veg to
Because
your flower, you move your
That's
clones
what
to your veg.
caregivers do.
When your veg is ready to go into flower, you cut your new clones, you start your clone cycle, and
This
you
is
just
your time.
rotate, right?
Show the world,
2
your
weeks
family,
before you're ready to go into
and
flower.
yourself.
So that's the
Tough.
ideal rotation.
And be the best
Yeah,
caregiver this world
Garrett.
has ever seen.
I didn't know you were a musician.
Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at AARP.org.
Did you find tie-dye tea yet or no?
Public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica
Did
Patrick.
you join
and
my
proud
Discord
aunt.
yet, Garrett?
Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the
You
US
might want to
are
join my
hungry.
Discord.
1 in 6. That
If
little
you're
girl
on
sitting
Discord.
alone at the playground,
Do you
she
have
can't
Discord?
play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch
Okay,
will
do
be
you
her
have
only
Discord?
meal
I don't want
today.
you to have to. I mean,
It
if
breaks
you don't
my
want to
heart that
download
this
it,
is
you
the
don't have
reality in
to.
our country. But it's something
No,
that
over
Feeding
there it's going to be
America is working to
WTHC
change.
Radio Army,
Each
but I'm
year, the
sure
Feeding
like
America network of food banks
Lori or
rescues
Curly
billions
Kell
of
might be able to
pounds of
send you
good
an
food that
invite.
would've gone to waste. This food is then provided to
I
families
don't know how to
and
do
children in
that
need.
shit.
Being
I
a
kind
kid
of
should be
just
about
hang out
using
there
your
and get high.
imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry.
Yeah, it should be
To find out how
WTHC
you can
Radio
help
Army.
end childhood hunger in your
Garrett
community,
Beener.
visit
BEANER. But I don't know what his name on Discord is.
Say bye-bye to bottled water. Holistic Health Water has certified medical
That goes
grade
for
water
anybody
ions
here. If you
that
want to
make
join the
7 types of
Discord,
water,
feel free to
including
join
healthy
it.
alkaline. There's a 5-micron filter that lasts up to a year, and each machine
Yeah, I
lasts
don't even know how to
25
work
30
Discord.
years. Simply attach to your faucet or install under your sink. Even get a mineral
Because
slug
he's
in your
on
kitchen
he's
shower.
on YouTube
Go
and
to
you're on Facebook.
yourwater.org to get a free
That's why you
ebook.
can't see him.
Plus, pay for any machine in full and get an extra filter free. Change your water and
Welcome
change
in,
your
everybody.
life.
Thank you so much for being here.
Water.org.
I'm late on the song, huh?
Hey, it's
Happy
Bill
420!
Shit, aka Billy Blaze, aka 420.
I'm sure. I was gonna say I hope you made that one up, and that's just a joke. Fungi in the house. Everybody, make sure you grab up the Fungi. He DJs here at nighttime on WTHC Radio.
Meat pickup.
This is my friend's calligraphy with THC.
Feel like autumn leaves falling. Only problem needs solving is seeing who I'm calling for some trees to indulge in. Need to holler at Billy. He keep his head in the cloud. Bel Air Kush by the bush. Wow. Screaming loud. Still smoking. Having nice drinks.
Happy 420, everybody. Happy 420. Smoke them if you got them.
Sir smoke a lot. Doctor said I need a bacchiotomy. Prescribe me huckleberry.
Oh, let me not talk so Lori doesn't yell at me.
This was her request.
Till I doze off. I'm so fried, no lie. Got you afraid of heights, scared to look down. You so high. Cause when I spit that shit, it's like I lick that shit in the crowd, pass it around and let you hit that shit. We is all I need. We is all I crave.
Christopher, you can join as well. Absolutely.
Lick that shit, burn it, roll that shit, 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 lick that shit, burn it, shit, lick that shit, burn it, roll that shit, lick that shit, burn it.
Good sunshine in my pocket on a Sunday stroll. Homie got the rap, give me the sack. Let the good times roll. Therapy, earth, body, and soul. World, give me beat. Bel Air Kush, give me mental control. L-Lit, back row. 5 times told. The studio we roll. Bring relief. We the musical. I need to know. Healthier than pill pop. Mother, give me herbs to fill spot. My medication, kid to a kill shot. Ministries, lay hands in stressful situations. Out of all the girls in my life, Mary Jane, a reservation. Here in 23, raising hands in liberation. A celebration, history free from information. Stand up, provide the right education. Show love, holistic cloud politics throughout the nation. Making it stop debating Billy Blunt, stash, flavor, taste the weed.
Weed is all I need. Smoke that weed. Weed. Weed is all I breathe. Smoke that weed. Smoke that weed. Products in the dick for my belief. I believe I'm never fix it. Roll that shit, lick that shit, burn 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 it.
A little higher today. I can't get the whole licking and then burning it down. Roll it, lick it, burn it. I'm baked.
Nice.
WTHC. Welcome back, everybody. Good afternoon and good morning to you weirdos over there on the West Coast where it's slow. It's slow over there, I guess, right? They're always behind schedule. You're always behind schedule. But I love them when their 420 comes up. I can't complain then.
Fresh beef and pork from the farm.
Another 420 today. Yes, I love it. Anyway,
another 420 today.
Oh, we have lots of them. I celebrate a lot of them. Oh. That's why my damn medicine bill is so big. Too much celebrating. Anyway, where you were talking to who? Garrett? Was it Garrett you were talking to in the crowd there?
Well, I was just talking about the policy of 8 plants is reasonable, right? For your own personal cultivation, especially if you're able to do it like in a small room. Let's say you got a room that's 8 by 8 or
now
10 by 10. You could really do a nice setup there.
I got a couple questions here for you, young man. I don't know if you've heard, but I have lots of questions. Nice, Lori. Sweet. I feel safer now. She's bringing her oxygen with her. I thought I was going to have to give her mouth to mouth. Oh. Anyway, now I can get to the real question.
It's all medical until you slip in the tongue, eh?
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to tell her when she was asleep, when she was out cold. Well, she woke up, and then I would suck it back in real quick.
Like a Cheech and Chong lizard.
Breeze. I have that effect on women. She's going to lose her oxygen as soon as she sees me. She's like,
Was he hot? He was hot. Kelly wants to know if the delivery guy was hot who brought the oxygen to Lori.
Yes, it's 90 out. No, now you made me forget my questions. Damn it!
Had to crack a tank of oxygen.
I forgot my questions. Damn it!
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know. You were the one that started this.
Well, we were talking about Karen's plants, 4 plants or 8 plants.
Right. And then I had a question about something.
I
wanted to talk to you about Lori. So Lori got her prescription.
Yes.
And she actually got a prescription like you did in your state or in your country, wherever the hell, when you originally got one, where they like told her she's only allowed to have 6 ounces a month, 30 days, 6 ounces within 30 days. After that, you're cut off. Or 60 grams of dabs, and that's it in 30 days, and you're cut off.
6 ounces is 6 times
a doob a day. I roll 8.
That's 168 grams a month. So her prescription is 5 grams a day, pretty much between 5 and 6.
Yeah, but I haven't heard of any states really doing that. That was very weird to me. I mean, I'm sure they do, but
that's a good prescription.
That's a decent sized prescription. I said that. I think I could live on that. I mean, but is it? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the rules are, but I mean, is it? Can you have 60 grams of flour and 60 grams of dabs?
Well, no, because
6 ounces of flour and 60 grams of dabs per month.
No,
or is
if it's like Canada,
of both.
If it's like Canada, they give a concentrate equivalency, right? So you can buy 1 gram of dabs, let's say, and they make that equivalent to 4 grams of flour. So if you're allowed to travel with, let's say, as a recreational user in Canada, you're allowed to have 30 grams on you. If you get pulled over by the police or whatever, you can have 30 grams.
Right.
But if it's in concentrate form, you might only be allowed to have 6 or 7. Right. I don't know what the actual conversion is because it's different by product depending on the percentage of cannabinoids. But the labeling when you buy concentrates in Canada show an equivalency to flour.
Loki.
Come here, Loki. Come here, buddy. Come here. No, you know what it was? I think Amazon delivered a package to the front, but
He's
he
like,
likes to go in the back.
he doesn't want to be a star. We've tried numerous times. He's not very fond of the camera. He's camera shy.
He's
beautiful though. When you do see him, he is absolutely beautiful.
He's
a big boy.
Yep, but he's a funny boy. He's lazy and shy.
Nothing funny about being lazy and shy. Sounds like my guy over here.
I'm not sure he's going to take him when we move because I'm going into an apartment, which means he doesn't have a backyard anymore. Which means that a couple times a day we're going to have to get out on that leash and stroll. So
go for
it's going to be good. It's going to be good for both of us.
And Daddy's gonna have little green bags in his pocket, picking up poopy on the side of the road every day. Yeah.
No, but you know what's pretty cool is
when it's cold out, it steams. It's cool. That's fun.
Yeah, that's gonna be a bit of a bitch. But what's kind of nice is that right where our building will be, attached to the property, is a bunch of trails in the woods. So I'm going to have a really nice place to go out
You
with
get
them.
get yourself a nice little walk, and you do it every day. Yeah. Just don't be
It'll be
late for the
great.
show. Do it before the show or after the show, not during.
Well, it's going to be one time in the morning and one time in the afternoon for sure, or evening.
And one time in the evening and one time after the evening, so you don't have to get up in the middle of the night.
But I got a massive balcony there, so I might set up a little quick
grass
station for them on there.
A
You know,
little grass area. They sell that grass carpet thing. That collects all
exactly.
the
with some
urine, yeah.
pads underneath.
All right, we got to get back to drugs. God damn it! We get off.
He's nice brindle. Him. He's got good markings.
We get off of drugs, and then all of a sudden we're everywhere.
That's okay.
I know.
Look, we can't talk about weed for 25 hours a week. Sometimes you got to.
I can. I have so many stories up here right now. So many stories.
Yeah, actually, I read a bunch of interesting stuff this morning too.
Yeah,
there was some really interesting.
There's a lot of people talking a lot of stuff about what's going on now that the schedule has been changed from 1 to 3. I want to debunk anything that's debunkable, and I want to.
So let's go there for a second.
All right. Well,
I actually posted before I came in to the show today an article that I was reading that in some ways was really disgusting. They did a study in Australia because they have medical marijuana now in Australia. So they've done a study that ran from 2018 to 2022 where they tracked patients using medical cannabis and determined whether they were having positive effects with the experience and this and that. And it had, I think, 800 and some odd participants. So it was a pretty good sampling of people to be able to get the results. And they got some good results. They found that there were a lot of people experiencing great benefit from this medication and not too many adverse effects. There were some people who did experience an adverse effect from time to time. They didn't get into the details, but what this article was actually about was the fact that the FDA will never legalize cannabis as medicine. Because to gain FDA approval, you have to meet certain criteria. And one of those criteria is uniform production, which means that each dose
everybody has to wear a uniform.
Equal. No, what it means is like when you take a pill, it's 5 milligrams, and every million pills that the pharmaceutical company makes is 5 milligrams. So it's a standardized unit of measure, right?
But I got a couple stories that are going to beg to differ, I think, actually, up here.
Well, this is where we're going because the disgusting part is coming. So the guy who's written the article, and it's an hour read. It's a big article. He says that the only way the FDA will ever approve marijuana as medicine is if it's being properly produced by pharmaceutical companies to ensure uniformity. So he's saying that this study, although it was good and the people who did it have great intention and this and that, it still doesn't matter. He said a lot of people will try to use this study as justification for marijuana as medicine, but it doesn't matter because the only way the FDA can approve it is if it's made by pharmaceutical companies and they can control the uniformity of the dose.
I got a question.
Yeah.
What's this dumbass's name?
I don't know. I'll tell you in a second.
Yeah, we'll shout him out. We'll go to
Because
his
I posted
Twitter.
it
We
up.
can all write to him. You're a dumbass.
And all throughout the article, right, when he talked about marijuana, he says he sees we need better evidence than doctors talking to patients and asking people, how's cannabis working for you, and them saying awesome or gnarly. You know what I mean? Like they try to throw in all this disparaging.
Such a Karen.
Yeah,
He sounds
they're
like a
trying to
Karen.
turn
He sounds like a Karen who's just like,
yeah, they're trying to make it a stoner thing. So the article is at heritage.org, and the article's author is
it the author or is he
Paul
quoting somebody?
Larkin. No, the author is Paul Larkin. He's a Rumpel Senior Research Fellow. And it says the raw agricultural form of cannabis is not capable of being approved for use by the Food and Drug Administration, regardless of whether Congress or the U.S. Attorney General reschedules it down from Schedule 1. Rescheduling cannabis would not allow the drug to be distributed under federal law unless the FDA finds it is a safe, effective, and uniform drug. The FDA could not do so under existing law, and the Attorney General cannot waive the Food, Drug, and Cosmetics Act requirements. Congress could do it by statute, but any such law would put at risk the health of users and non-users in order to satisfy the desires of a minority for a transient high. It says there is no proof that raw cannabis is safe, effective, and uniform as required by the federal law for a new drug to be distributed in interstate commerce. States that have approved the use of raw cannabis have not made the findings that the Food and Drug and Cosmetic Act demands. The possibility that cannabinoids might serve as legitimate therapeutic treatment justifies research into their potential therapeutic value. But that's not the real disgusting part. But for some reason, it's not allowing me to open it on my phone.
Yeah, Chris, we read that story the other day. She couldn't handle the marijuana smell at the tennis open, the U.S. Open. Yeah, there was actually another tennis guy who also came out and said that the smell was bothering him as well. I saw a follow-up story.
Well, not everybody likes the smell of weed.
You know what I say? I don't like the smell of cigarettes, and I still have to smell them, and they smell those too. And suck it up, Buttercup. That being said.
All right, pull up a story.
I'm not going to pull one up. I'm going to read one because I know how you guys love my reading. The new drug classification proposal would make marijuana federally legal with a prescription. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services recently provided a recommendation to the Drug Enforcement Administration on marijuana policy. The scheduling recommendation for the drug came at the direction of President Joe Biden. Health and Human Services Secretary Xavier Becerra said in a tweet. Though Barrera did not provide further details, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said that HHS has recommended the downgrading of marijuana from a Schedule 1 to a 3 controlled substance. These schedules refer to the federal government way of classifying drugs and other substances. One person claimed that the proposed scheduling change would make marijuana federally legal with a prescription. That's basically all it says.
Yeah, which what they're saying is that you wouldn't get arrested if you had a prescription and you were within your limits, whatever the doctor prescribed. But with FDA approval, until you have FDA approval, you will most likely not have any insurance companies picking up the bill for your medicine, which you should be entitled to. If you have drug coverage as a part of your health insurance through your employer or whether you pay for it yourself, cannabis should be covered under that because it has been prescribed by a doctor. Basically, what they're doing is spitting in the face of doctors who prescribe cannabis
Right.
by saying, you know what, your opinion isn't as valid as the opinion of Dr. Joe down the street who's prescribing oxys all day long, who's prescribing Percocets. You know what I mean? Your opinion and your approach to medicine is kind of like witchcraft. You know what I mean? Like that's basically what they're not saying, but that's what the indication is when they're treating it that way. Family of New York shock attack victim speaks out.
No, I don't think that's the same story. I think that's the ending of the story before, and here we go. Oh, got to turn the volume on.
Wanted to a lower risk drug category. Elizabeth Schulze joins us now with what we need to know. Good morning to you.
Good morning, DeMarco. And this would be a big change that would ease federal restrictions on marijuana. Currently, it's classified as a Schedule 1 controlled substance. That's the same category as some of the most dangerous drugs with no accepted medical use like heroin or LSD. But the Health and Human Services Department is now reportedly asking to reclassify marijuana as a lower risk Schedule 3 drug, the same category as ketamine or testosterone. Last October, President Biden requested that his administration initiate this process of recategorizing marijuana under federal law. And HHS now says that it's working to ensure that this scientific evaluation is completed quickly. As of now, marijuana is still illegal at the federal level, though nearly 40 states do allow for its use in some way. So this move could be a step toward wider legalization. Guys.
That would be a big change. Okay, Elizabeth Schulze, as always, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, any step towards the right direction is a good step, right? But I still think it's going to take quite some time, especially you got an election cycle coming up. So,
there's another story here. It's basically the same thing. The top story, not the top. It's the Washington Examiner. Biden looks at rescheduling marijuana in time for the 2024 election. I mean, it's already starting. It's him going to try to do this so that us pot smokers will all go vote for him. You know what I mean?
Well, you'd have millions of new votes, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? All they got to do is dangle the carrot and everybody will step into line. And I think Democrats are more likely to do it than Republicans in the States.
He's no fool. I mean, he's no fool.
No.
I mean, he is, but I mean, he's no.
Well, perhaps Mr. Biden should be indulging in a little bit of cannabis himself because his mind is starting to slip.
No, that's that other dude from the Republican side.
Mitch McConnell,
McConnell,
the guy who freezes in a press conference.
What? I don't like any of them, so it don't matter.
Well, the problem is that most of them don't really work in our best interests.
None of them care about me, so I don't care about them. Right.
That's the whole purpose of having representation, but they only seem to represent their own interests and not the interests of the constituency.
None of them care about me, so I don't care about any of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're there for their own purposes.
Yeah, but I think like it's nice to see a scientific agency in the U.S. state that they believe that cannabis is benign enough that it should be reclassified. But then we have the other side of the coin where you're going to have agencies like the FDA that are going to say, oh, well, we can't do anything. You have to change the law. And, funnily enough, that law that they're talking about came into effect in 1938. And that was 1 year after cannabis became illegal. Because that happened in 37.
On cannabis?
And
signed on cannabis.
If you look at the way the law is written, it's written to ensure that only one category of company can produce any kind of drug in the United States, and that's a pharmaceutical company. And it takes a lot of money to start a pharmaceutical company. So that goes back to just helping out their wealthy cronies and isolating the individuals that have the ability to produce things. It's like there are a lot of natural plants that we can use that have great effect. But the natural doctors, the holistic doctors, the homeopathic doctors, and the companies that produce these supplements in the market, they cannot make any claim about what it's good for. Nobody can say that St. John's wort is good for memory, or dandelion greens are good for your heart. They can't say that, and they're tied up because they're not allowed to, even though it's true.
And that leads to this thing we were talking about yesterday with these new laws on all these products that you're going to find at the vitamin stores, right? I mean,
yeah, in Canada, it's the same idea. They're really trying to cut off the ability for these products to be, number one, accessible to us, but they really want to force us into the arms of the pharmaceuticals, and which to me is kind of mind-blowing, because the majority of pharmaceutical medications do come with some sort of side effect. And as I was reviewing our time with Dr. Harris the other day, and he talked about chemotherapy, and he says the goal of chemotherapy is to find a form of radiation that'll kill the cancer before it kills you. And if it kills the cancer before it kills you, that's a success.
Right.
Like, what kind of backward ass thinking is that? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I'm sure there's definitely a reason to include radiation, perhaps in cancer treatment. But when the simple goal is to kill the cancer before we kill you, then that's weird.
That's horrible.
That's weird,
Horrible. All right, we got to do a commercial. We'll be back. You're hanging with the hippie and Dr. High on WTHC Radio.
I'm going to go see if my MCT all's here.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today, I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in,
how do I look?
Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Oh, Department of Health and Human Services.
This is the story of a very special woman.
They love us.
In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Are you looking to have some crocheted made by hand stuff like your Grammy used to do for you? Then you need to check out You Have Me Hooked 23 on Etsy and TikTok. Vern can do what you need. She crochets hats, she crochets animals, everything, anything you may need. She also makes vinyl stickers, banners for your business. Anything that you might want that she can do, she can definitely do it for you. Want an by sticker? She's got you covered. Anything, and I mean anything that you may need. She has cheap and reasonable prices. Check her out. You Have Me Hooked 23 on Etsy and TikTok.
Say bye-bye to bottled water. Holistic Health Water has certified medical-grade water ionizers that make 7 types of water, including healthy alkaline. There's a 5-micron filter that lasts up to a year, and each machine lasts 25 to 30 years. Simply attach to your faucet or install under your sink. Even get a mineral spa unit for your shower. Go to ownyourwater.org to get a free ebook. Plus, pay for any machine in full and get an extra filter free. Change your water and change your life. Ownyourwater.org.
Oh, yeah, baby, it's Mark Sticky, and you're blazing with WTHC Radio on Live 365 and TuneIn.
WTHC, good afternoon to almost everybody. You guys over there on the West Coast, good morning. I hope you're waking and baking if you're just getting up. If not, welcome in, hang out. Come on, stick around. We're talking weed. Dr. High, you all right over there? You look a little sad. Your MCT oil didn't come.
Oh, it'll come today. It's out for delivery. I was just looking at somebody's post. I'm not sure what to make of it.
Were they messing with you?
No, not messing with me. I'll read it. It's by somebody called Andre Special. It's on Facebook. It says,
Okay.
I was in Emeryville without weed, about to go to IKEA, and I decided to pick up a joint at the local dispensary I've never been to. It was nice and all, but when I asked about their compassion program, I was told they don't have one at all. No compassion, zero. This is total BS. CBCB's compassion program gives over 300 locals free product every single week. And it's supposed to be for Berkeley residents, but almost half of our compassion friends are from Emeryville and Oakville. We love all our neighbors and thought that supplementing what dispensaries in the city they live in we're giving them, but we hear it over and over that they have a hard time finding other compassion programs. So this person's really all upset because they couldn't go to the dispensary and get something free.
Well, does he mean free, or does he mean like, like you're a vet and you should get a percentage off, or you're a firefighter, an emergency service person, and they get a percentage off because you're a volunteer?
I think that's why I had that miffed look on my face, because I was trying to understand what was really meant by this.
Yeah,
I go back to reading. This is total BS. CBCB's compassion program gives over 300 locals free product every single week. So it sounds to me like the focus is on the free product, right?
My daughter walked in while you were reading that part. I may have missed a little bit of there.
Oh.
So if he's bitching like you get a free free pre-roll every time you buy a certain amount, you said, right, or something to that effect.
Every time I go in the store.
Right. So I mean, he's got a legit bitch. If somebody else that he goes to gets free shit every time, and now he's going to a new place and they don't give it out, I mean,
I don't expect to go into a dispensary and say, "Hey, let me have a free joint." I mean, I buy what I buy.
Oh yeah, no. If he went in there and he was like, just give me a free joint, then he's out of his mind. But if you went and you bought something and they said, yeah, you spent $100, you get a free doobie,
But that's not a compassion program, right? They're focused on the compassion program, and I agree, because it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, how medical insurance and that won't cover the cost of cannabis as medicine, and it's fucking expensive for you guys. I mean, it's expensive here, but for you guys, it's way worse. And I mean, between Canada and the U.S., we make kind of equivalent sort of money, right? For normal fields, like if you're in construction or if you're a nurse or whatever, you make kind of equivalent money. So when I look at it like that, and I look at the prices that you're paying for your medicine compared to what you'd be forced to pay for it here, I think that what they're charging in the States is way expensive. But
I'll say,
yeah, I see a need for a compassionate pricing, and I think that there should be exceptions made for veterans, like you said, first responders. There should be people who are not of the economic needs, but a doctor says they need cannabis.
All right. Not to cut you off, but Curly Keller is going to be going today. $113. She's getting 2 live vapes and that are half grams and a eighth of flour for $113.
Wow.
Yeah. Love us. They take good care of us.
And not for any other reason, but just to give you a real comparison of what that would be here, I could go pick up 4 times that in a vape. So a full 2 grams in a vape would cost me $40, and that eighth of flour, which is 3.5 grams, would cost me $17.50. So for $57.50, I can walk out of the dispensary with an eighth of flour and 2 grams in a vape. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, you guys, they really get you over there. And if you're a recreational user, it's a choice, right? It's like going to the bar on a Friday night and blowing $300. Hey, that's your decision. You made that choice. But when you're a medical cannabis user, and need your medicine, then that's not your choice.
Right, and that's gonna, and I'm a little pissed off right now. I don't know why, but I'm angry because for the last 2 weeks I've been buying medical piss because I couldn't afford to go to the dispensary and get my real medicine.
Yeah,
and now I finally was able to afford to get my real medicine, and I no longer have to smoke pickle piss.
Yeah,
but I'm angry. I'm angry because and then I went to the dispensary last night, and if I told you how much we spent, you
don't have to tell me. I have an idea what you're having tonight.
you'd shit your pants. I'm telling you.
Yeah. And if I put that,
this is my medicine. This is my fucking medicine.
Oh man! Oh man! Oh man!
And I was miserable, and I was
That's
hurting.
bad timing, and the wrong phone number, buddy.
What's the matter, bud? You gotta
Well,
go.
I applied to a good job at a cannabis place in Montreal yesterday.
All right, go answer the phone.
And they called me this morning.
I'll see you tomorrow.
And no, because he's calling on my wrong line anyway. But they called me this morning, and I'm on the phone with a guy for 2 seconds. And he's like, oh, can I call you back? I have to go. I have to, somebody's calling me that I have to take this call right away and this and that. So I'm like, yeah, no problem. So I really had a feeling he would call while we were doing this. But the problem is I got 2 phones, and for some reason, one of them, I can text, I can do everything. But when I try to talk, they can't hear me and I can't hear them. And he just called me on the wrong phone.
So you got to call him back anyway. What's your schedule? Garrett, I am on the radio all weekend, especially this weekend. Mrs. Hippie will be away, so I'll be on a lot. But we do not do the Dr. High and Hippie show. No. That's only Monday through Friday.
It's a job, brother.
Monday through Friday, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, depending on his mood or if I gotta pee, how bad I gotta pee.
It's probably the worst paying job I ever had, but it's
hey,
really had a lot of fun doing.
I guaranteed no money when I signed you. I guaranteed no money. There was no money guaranteed.
But see, money's not what drives me, man. Passion and
right. This is all for the help of people. We're doing this to help people, and there's no money involved.
But when Howard Stern contacts us and wants to give us a contract,
a segment on his
money
show.
involved.
Right, we're going over to Sirius, and we're going to work on XM's Howard's show. Yep,
that's it.
Yeah.
We'll get
Howie,
up and
hit me up, Howie. Have your people reach out to my people.
It'll all be good. But the reason why this job's interesting to me is because it is
hang
one
out with a puppet.
It's no, not this job. The one that the guy was calling me about.
Oh, that one.
It's 1 block from where my wife will be working. So it's very simple for us to get back and forth every day. It's close proximity. You know what I mean?
Right.
Makes a difference of $28 an hour and $55 an hour as a household income. So
right.
Interesting.
And are you interested in the actual job? I mean, already this guy.
No, I'd be doing their pre-rolls. It's fucking way below my level of knowledge.
That sounds like a lot of fun. You sit there and just pack rolls all day.
Well, for me, I don't really care about how I get through the door. I only care to get through the door, because once I'm through the door, then I have the chance to influence
your
the
experience
mind
and your education and your abilities will show the way.
Exactly. So it's getting the foot in the door first. In this place, I don't require French, and that's big. That's big for me, because I can order food. I can do the basics in French, but I can't work in French. I can't.
Yeah, I totally get it. I can barely work in English.
So,
yeah, I get you.
Christopher, I like your thinking, Kelly. I'm definitely up for that kind of compensation.
What did I miss?
Huh?
What did I miss? Yes, but I think Hippie owes Doc a high a shirt. Is that what competition though?
No, I said I'm up for that kind of compensation. That works for me.
Oh, compensation. I thought you said conversation or competition.
No, compensation.
Compensation. competition. Yes, Christopher says it's been a good few weeks. I have definitely learned a lot from you guys and great tunes in between. Well, thank you so much, Christopher. And we
Yeah,
love
that's really awesome, and that's the whole
Makes us
reason
feel, yeah.
that we do this. It's the whole reason that I show up every day is because I really hope that I can help people understand cannabis in general,
Right.
and then how to incorporate it into their lifestyle to either obtain the medicinal benefit or the wellness side of it and those kind of things. That's really what it's about for me. It's about advocacy and education. That's what I love to talk about. You know what I mean? If we had 100 people in here asking questions every day, fuck, man, I think I died and gone to heaven.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
we would have to add a few hours to the show, I think.
Yeah.
We'd have to add a few
Yeah.
more hours. We'd be doing 8 hours of this show a day.
But it would be awesome. And it is awesome, and I love doing it. I mean,
I absolutely love it as well, and I'm
I
so
love doing
glad
it.
you're here with me every day.
Yeah.
I appreciate
I'm glad
you.
that you gave me the opportunity. I was down from the very first time the three of us got together.
I love it. I'm
know?
so happy to have you. Like I said, my daughter is back. Something is going on. Let me turn.
Well, that's okay because I want to go call this guy back anyway, and it's 2:00.
All right, then
Well,
we're gonna call it.
We'll wrap it for the weekend. Everybody have an awesome weekend, man. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. It's like there'd be no reason to do it if you guys weren't here. Really, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, I totally get what you're saying. I sometimes get concerned already. You know, I'm like, oh, I wish the numbers would be bigger, but they're getting there. They're going up little by little.
You know what?
Every day.
Everything worth having takes effort and time. Easy come, easy go. When you work hard for something, then it has greater value.
I agree.
You
I
know?
agree. And we have nothing but time. So
Yeah.
it's only going to get better.
Yep.
And once you get stabilized over in your new home and you got everything going, we're going to be able to focus a little more harder on it. I'm going to take a little less time in the morning and put more work into this as well.
Yep.
Because this is really something that I enjoy and really am passionate about. And so
Yeah, exactly. And we'll figure out how to design shows that maybe
Yeah.
it'll be a little more directed than.
Sure. And it's all going to come together. It's just
Yeah.
a matter of you got nothing but time. So
that's it.
We'll figure it out. All
That's
right,
it.
everybody out there on Facebook and YouTube, you guys are amazing. We love you guys so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are our backbone. You're the support. You're the ones that are going to get us going. And now we just got to keep sharing it out and spreading the word.
That's it. Smash that
everybody-
like button and subscribe.
Please, everybody, and please have a very safe and enjoyable Labor Day. Stay
Yeah,
lifted.
long weekend. Yeah, have a great long
weekend.
weekend, everybody.
We will be on though, right? You're down for being on Monday?
If you want to do Monday, I'll do Monday.
I'll be here. I'll be working. I can't take a
I'm
day
good.
off. I've had a day off. I'm going to try to beat Muck Sticky. He's got like 21 years straight with wearing pajamas. I'm
And you're
going
going to try and go 21 years straight with a fist up your ass?
Yep, 21 years on the radio every day, 7 days a week for 21 years. I'm going to try to
There you
catch
go.
up. I got a long way to go.
Nice.
A lot of work. All right.
All right,
Love
everybody.
you guys.
Take care.
Peace.
Have a good one. Peace.